Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's make it public. Let's make it public. Good evening. How are you beautiful people doing? Let's make it public. Let's make it public. All right, let's make it public. Edit privacy is now public. Um, Good evening, folks. Let me also go and share it on Instagram. Evening, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence, and some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from the Commonwealth of Dominica, La Puente to be having issues with my internet. It's still going in and out. I apologize, but we got to do that until we can get it right. People are starting to come in. Let me see who's coming in so I can give a quick shout out. Alvin Vasa, good evening, sir. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great day today. While we're waiting for people to come in, let's play a little music. A little music. You Americans, but I am Dominican, so let's play some Dominican music while people start to come in. Welcome to Tuesday with Terrence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. La Dominique. All right, let me stop it. Let me stop it. You know, I might get a little carried with my Dominican music. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. We're still having some technical difficulties with internet, so just bear with me. I know it's happening. It'll go in and out until I can figure it out. Just bear with me. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Peach Goodwill, Mr. Finally Blanc, all the way in Ottawa, Canada, Mr. Alvin Vasa, Petersburg, Virginia, and anybody else who's watching. As you're tuning in, welcome to Web for you tonight. I'm going to talk about a question that I got from a client. And it's going to be fun, actually. But just before we do that, I'm playing my little music while people start to come in. You see, for those people who just come in and check to see what it is, they're always looking. You see, I got my loyal. Alvin is loyal. Delphina is loyal. Peach Goodwill is loyal. And a whole bunch of other people are loyal. So I thank you to all of you who continue to watch and support the show. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. I know some of you sometimes you don't want to watch. Sometimes you just want to do something different, watch TV, but you still tune in to support your boy. And for that, I don't take it for granted. I am really, really privileged and honored. I am actually buck tired driving all the way from Tennessee. I have a meeting with my team right after this. It's going to be a short meeting at 8:05 p.m. But the show must go on. The show must go on. You know what? I got a text today from Peach Goodwill. Excellent, excellent, excellent I'm sorry for the going in and out. That's going to happen. He says, if nobody cheer for you, it's still going to happen. Keep going. And that's what I do with Tuesdays with Terrence. Whether it's one person or nobody, I continue to do it because as an educator, I try to teach financial literacy from a non-traditional concept, and that's what we're going to do. But you know, guys, I'm from Dominica, man, and I love my Dominican play. All right, who's that singing, Dominicans? Kim Kashatela. Come on. All right. Let me stop. That's great music, man. Do you all know who that's singing? Let me see. Good evening, Miss Robin Martin and Miss Elizabeth Bardui. Delphina, you know who's that singing right there? I know the other people watching might not know. I think Elizabeth Bardui might know who was that singing. You know, I want to put my Kamem hat on, you know, but I just shaved. I'm looking bright and handsome. I had an excellent weekend. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But how you doing so far? How's your week's going? You know, is your week going good? I know some people have texted me who are not feeling too well, and my prayer for you. I don't always have to put your business out there, but I just want you to know that I'm praying for you and that everything comes out great for you today. I have a great show planned, and you know, this is we're still frozen. Those who don't ask, they say closed mouths don't get fed, right? So we're gonna address this tonight. But just before we do that, let's take a quick look. You know, I was given a text. Uh, Someone said that. Let's see, spring is here, Beantown, tulips are out. Okay, that was one of my agents telling me some good stuff here. But you know what? Wow, the Dow Jones was up 263.71. The Nasdaq was up 245.33, and the S&P was up 59.95. The S&P is over 5,000. The Nasdaq is 15,696, and the Dow Jones is 38,503. I think it was earlier this. You made money, but guess what? Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. My clients only go up. You may stay there for a minute, you don't lose a penny, and you go up, incrementally up, 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 up. So let's start the show. I want to welcome to all those of you who are watching tonight. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me A. That's right. Luka Boy, 767. Whitey Kubuli, tall as her body. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. I know the internet's going in and out, and I've been working on it. I've been trying to. Eventually, we'll get it right. But until then, I don't know what's going on. So until then, just got to bear with me, all right? Just take the little. I'm so excited tonight. You know, I got a text from a cousin of mine I've never met. They live in the same last name. They live in a different country in the Caribbean. And they sent me a text and they said, "Hey, Havis, I need some financial advice." I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Are you on WhatsApp?" Like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." specifically what's going on. But the person wanted to decide if they should take a loan to create, do something at their home, and they had another loan out, and they asked me, and I asked them, is it a want or a need? Some of us have wants and some of us have needs. And some of us have needs. Still freezing up. Some of you want to go on vacation. Some of you need to go on vacation. Some of you will mortgage your future to go on vacation. And some of you do whatever it is. And I'll tell you something, a want and a need is two different things. A want is something that you want because you desire it, brain wants it. And a need is a necessity. We need water, sunlight, food, sleep. Those are needs. You know, People think that vacations has always have to be away. No, you can do little things. You can do little picnics, little day trips, little short things. And I'm not here to discourage anybody from doing that at all. I'm not there for that at all. But I do know, that you know what an option is? Something you could or could not do. So I told my cousin that's what you should do. I said, this is my recommendation. Is it a want or a need? I said, I asked them the question. I said, if you don't do this thing that you say you want to do, is everything going to break down? They said, no. I said, well, you can wait. And those are some of the decisions. Some of the situation, look at what's going on and see if it's a want of a need. Because some of us, we have, some of us, we need counseling if we don't get some of our wants. And I'm not one of those people who believe that. I don't. But it's very, very important. So just before we start the show, let's play our theme song. You don't have to be a star to be on my show. You don't have to have a million to be on my show. Talk about what I wanted to talk about tonight. Here is my baby sister, Miss Maynard Thomas, Jean Pointe, all the way in Atlanta, Georgia, singing You Don't Have to Be a Star to Be on My Show. Come in.
Your hurt to me, your worth much more than you put in. Now I don't need
Zebby,
no
Sakafet,
superstar.
you're a superstar, Zebby.
Accept you as you are. You won't be denied.
Charles Robinson, what's up?
You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
Boom. The song says you don't have to be a star to be on my show. You don't have to have a million to be on my show. But everybody who's watching tonight, you don't have to have a million to be on my show. You can be on my show the beautiful Isle of Barbados. Zebby likes to post and say, I live where you vacation. I like when she puts that up. I live where you vacation. And she's right. The Caribbean is a beautiful place, from the Caribbean originally, and I don't take it for granted. So those of you who live this now, you know what, I jaloux, but in reality, like I said, I'm still having computer issues. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. The bill is paid. Trust me, it's paid, but I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to, get my router closer, or I need to upgrade. I don't know what I need to do. But for some reason, and I don't think it might be my laptop. Maybe I need a new laptop, right? Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me Little Boy. Going all the way back to the 767, Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. Tonight, I'm going to tell you something, right? And I got a text on Sunday, and the text went something like this. It says, "Good morning, happy Sunday." It was Sunday morning. I was it was raining hard. I was in Atlanta. It says, "Good morning, happy Sunday. Does your firm sell long-term care insurance?" And I said, "Yes." In capital letters, I said, "We." In capital. How come you did not pitch me? Now, for those of you who are watching, you must be saying, "Man, you must be lousy at what you do because you didn't tell them about long-term care." Well, for those of you who know me and know what I do, you hear me talk about living benefits all the time, right? And I always say people who have life insurance, the old kind, they may not have. So I told my client, "Man, you got living benefits." And they're like, "Well, I want nursing home." Well, living benefits, if you can't do two of the activities of daily living. Does anybody know what the activities of daily living are? There's six of them. If you can't do two of the activities of daily living, a chronic illness, a cognitive impairment like Alzheimer's. So the activities of daily living is eating, bathing, toileting, transferring, continence, and dressing. Those are the six activities of daily living. If you can't do two of those, living benefits kick in. If you become, you have something to you guys. Long-term care insurance is basically insurance that you have to use in a nursing home or for home health care, specifically for short-term care, and it can go as long as short as 90 days and as long as about 5 years. But let me tell you all something. Basically, if you have long-term care, uh, that money's earmarked specifically for that. There are some people who have loved ones. You may have a husband, a wife, children. And the care is care that can be provided at home, not necessarily in a facility. You're going to have to pay somebody to do that. So basically, I'm going to take a look at this client and see. I'm like, I tell all my clients, same thing. When I talk to people, I usually tell them the same thing. And the reason why we do that The reason why we do that is so that you can know what your rights and options are. If you don't know what your rights and options are, you cannot make an informed decision. So this person wasn't aware, and I kept telling, and I tell all my clients, man, you know, check. I'm saying to myself, this person is not even aware. Although we told them and I showed them, people forget. And and I told this client, you know what? They said, well, we need to talk. And I said, sure, let's talk about when. I said, when can we talk? So tomorrow morning, I'm going to meet with. All right, there it is. I was just trying to find the client. Now I found them. Let's see. So let's see. The first one for this client is, because I want to tell you guys, I'm not going to call the client's name, but I'm not going to tell you for critical and chronic illnesses. And actually, this client, what we need to do, we need to do an upgrade for Alzheimer's as well. If this client has a terminal illness, right? She wasn't even aware. She has access to a lump sum of money she can get if she has she can get $11,350 a month. If she have a critical illness or critical injury, she can get $812,083. And the funny thing about it is, this client wasn't even aware. They were not aware. Although I told them, and although they for high risk activities like skydiving, as they are considered extremely dangerous and have a high potential for injury or death. Racing, participating, correct, but this person is a nurse, it's a nurse. And one of the things that people don't realize is that the average how many people do car racing? So the average schmuck or the average Joe or Jill has a job. They go to the job every day. They have a family, possibly, either a husband or a wife or kids or a kid, or they're a single, they have a kid or kids, and they go to work. And the key is, if there's someone, you need life insurance with living benefits, the kind that we call the new kind. A lot of people have the old kind. It has no living benefits. And what puzzled me is that when I ask clients, do you have living benefits? And some of them are like, I don't know. I'm like, how can you not know? And sometimes I tell people, how can you not know what you have? But it's kind of like some people don't know what oil. If you have me as your financial professional, you will be covered. Now, if you don't qualify, you still need the coverage because you could use it for an infinite banking concept. Come in. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you could use it as a bank. They said they can meet any day this week except one day. So Thursday night, we're going to write them up. There's someone else who called me over the weekend who has a term policy, and we have to do a convert it to an IUL. So we're going to do that tomorrow morning as well. Today, one of my I need to teach them how to eliminate their debt. Folks, it's important that you have the right professional, financial professional with you. Let me tell you something, right? I don't have a problem if people watch what I talk about and they go somewhere and do it. I don't have a problem from that person. You're too embarrassed to tell them that they're lousy as a financial professional. My clients are not ashamed of me. I put them in the best position so that they, in case something happens, their family's covered. Some of you illness like cancer or stroke. If it runs in your family, your mother, your father, your siblings, you should have it. Why don't you have it? I had to tell it to one of my friends before. They're like, oh, I didn't know what that was. And I called my guy and now he's going to help me. I said, shame on you. I said, well, but shame on you. I'm teaching you what he's not. People says, well, why do you do this for free? You know why? Because I'm an educator. I believe that people need to know. You ever saw a preacher going and preaching the good news of the gospel? You know why he does that? Because he wants to see you saved. That's his gospel mission. It's the same thing with me, man. I don't want nobody hitting me up for don't hit me up for GoFundMe's because somebody in your family got sick with cancer, stroke, heart attack. Don't hit me up about that. You know why? Because you've been following me. Is there a reason why you follow me on social media, on Facebook? Why? Because you think I'm cute? I'm charming? Or is it because I have something to offer? Is it because I have something to I don't have a problem following, but if you're following me on social media and you haven't made a decision to protect you and your family, why are you still following me? Every day I'm posting about the same things. Every Tuesday I talk about the same things. So the reason I do it is kind of like same thing like the preacher. You have a choice. A chance of your deathbed to do it. Some people don't get that chance. You tragically die in an accident or you sleep. You know, I heard a testimony from one of my colleagues last night. We had a training call, and for a couple of years, she'd been trying to get this lady to do something. Young lady, 36 years old, has a young child. And every time it's a that, it's a this, it's a that. And one, I think it was last July, or was it earlier this year, or was it last July? She said that the girl called her. She set her up. The girl got approved instantly, immediately. Healthy as an ox. The lady recently died. I'm not trying to be, I don't want nobody to die. I don't even want you to have a critical illness. I don't want you to have cancer. aneurysm, stroke, heart attack. I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want you that I don't want you to live your life where you can't do two of the activities of daily living. I don't want any of that to happen to you. I was just telling one of my clients this morning who called me or who called me on Sunday, and they were telling me about life happens. And this client of mine is in the process of doing something as well. Life happens, folks. It's sad that we continue to just take risks, unnecessary risk. Excuse me, unnecessary risk. Why are we doing that? You know, and our president of American Classic Agency, the company that cares, he said it last night on our second quarter kickoff. He said, when you have 5, 10, $25,000 policies, sometimes you just let those things lapse. And you shouldn't, but people do. But he said, you have a million. I've had people who've had $1 million, $2 million worth of coverage and they let it lapse. And it wasn't a I don't feel bad for those people if something happens. I just don't. It's not because I don't care and I'm not empathetic. If you don't value protecting your income, eliminating your debt, and creating a legacy for your children or your family, that's your choice. But if I do, that long-term care policy is only for a facility, nursing home. Most people don't want to go to nursing homes. My mother died in a nursing home. My father died in a nursing home. I got clients in nursing homes now. Who wants to go to a nursing home? So you get a rash, diaper rash, why wouldn't you do that? One of my biggest challenges as a financial professional is creating programs for people and they're not seeing the value of it. Excuse me. You don't get life insurance with living benefits because you're going to die. You get it because you're going to live. Some people have car. If I know some people with terrible credit right now, and if they got approved for a car, their dream car today, and they could drive up the. Some people remember in 2008, people had homes they couldn't afford, and when the bubble hit, a lot of people lost their stuff. How many people have lived in the same house from the time they were a baby until now? People move around. How many people are driving the same car they were driving 20, 30, 40 years ago? Definitely not me. Those are just things. Asset is your ability to earn an income. And you have to protect that income. How much you make? 50,000 a year? How old are you? 45? What age you want to retire? 65? So let's do the math. 45, 55, that's 20 years. You make $50,000 a year. You need $1 million, $1 million worth of coverage. Most people make more than that. If you're 45 years old and you are making $50,000 a year, you need to protect your income at least $1 million till you retire. Because your family, you're 23 years old, you're making 75 grand a year, or you're 25 years old, you're making 75, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 40 years. 75 times 40. You need $3 million. At our agency, American Classic Agency, but if you have a mortgage that's worth more than that, you don't want to have enough just to pay off your mortgage. What about bills and car notes, and your kids may have to go to school, or your grandkids? It's not rocket science. Oh, you're 50, or you're 55 years old right now, you're 56 years old right now, and you make what? Because you're like, I don't have enough money saved. You want to retire at 70, so you're 56, 66, that's 14. 45 times 14. That's $630,000. That's a simple calculation. You can't afford that, or the apartment until you move to a bigger apartment, and then the house, did you move to a bigger house? It's the same concept. Having something in place to secure your legacy just in case if something happens. I was talking to someone the other day who have young children, and they told me they can't afford it. I got so mad at them. And I saw that same person in the Caribbean. The price of the ticket to and fro, you're going to pay the premium for a year. Priorities. You see, we have wants and we have needs. I was just having a conversation today with one of my friends. They were telling me about they have to make a financial decision. What you want to do is a need. Sorry, what you want to do is a want. And what you got to do is a need. What you want to do is a want, and what you got to do is a need. Sometimes you have to sacrifice some stuff. If you're my friend, right, my Facebook friend, and you make anywhere between $25,000 to $100,000, and you have why on social media, and you have no personal life insurance, don't tell me about the job. You can get downsized, furloughed, fired, quit. Why? It marvels me at times, and I try to make subtle posts. And when I make my post, I want to make this very, very clear. Many times I've been in church and the pastor preached, and I was like, man, how do you know I was doing that? He had no clue. Just the Spirit moved. So when you read my post about not saving, not planning, not having, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about qualities. I don't think so. But in general, you know, So why? And I don't care what you do in your personal life. I don't care where you spend your money. All I know is I've gotten a lot of GoFundMe requests. People always hit me up all the time for this and for that. This is funny. We were saying, if you're out there begging for something, right? Don't be in social media looking fly. Don't. Because we're not saying that's what you did with it, but it appears. I would never get mad at someone. Borrow money for a premium for this stuff. I would never be mad at you. Paid back though. Paid back. Prioritize. What's your wants and what are your needs? What are your wants and what are your needs? You need life insurance. I want to go to Dubai. You need living benefits. I want to go to Vegas for a weekend. There's a lot of people who have, listen, I found out in my industry, a lot of the people who are crying broke, my clients, they're the ones with the money. And they're very thrifty. And the ones who are living large ain't got jack. I almost said a word that starts with an S. So it's priorities, mindset, budgeting. If you're not budgeting, if it's not in your budget, okay, what it is. If it's not in your budget, you cannot afford it. And people say to me, well, what do you mean? All I got to do is work and die? No. You want to go on a nice vacation? Save for it. Then go. You want a nice car? Get your credit up high so you get a lower interest rate and save for your down payment. Does your income to debt ratio, does that make you still be able to function your bills? I would let my internet die and pay my life insurance. I would do that in a heartbeat without thinking about it. There's some people who are not making a lot of money. They have to think about paying a debt or a bill and food. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. A lot of churches now give out. They have groceries they give out. You can get some food pantries and stuff. That's not my calling. But I would do that in a heartbeat. Some people, when they have a hardship, the first thing that they start thinking about is their insurance to get rid of. Hell no. I'll walk from here to Timbuktu, but make sure my insurance is in place. And if everybody thought like me, the world would be a better place. Because too many times you go to funerals, and how many fish fries and bake sales can you do? How many? It's actually tacky. It means you didn't plan. And I said to the client, you know what? I showed them how much money they've made the last 3 years the last 5 years from their retirement. They've made over $385,000 in the last 5 years. And the client told me they have nothing saved. and I've known the person for 5 years, they could have been in a better position. They could have access to all this cash. So tomorrow I'm going to call them, and hopefully tomorrow night we can set it up for them. You guys think I'm ashamed to talk about what I do? Someone asked me one time about begging for money and begging for to help to bury people here and abroad. Nah, If your families, for those of you who live in other countries like the Caribbean and other places where I can't help you, you have families up here who can do this. And God forbid something happened, they'd have cash value they could use to help the family back home. And so a lot of people are doing it now. I don't want to sit here and make it look like people are skewed. They have their priorities skewed. So my client asked me about long-term care, and they already have $810,000 they can access for long-term care like services, and they can get that care from home. And even if they go to a facility, they can get that money and pay the facility there as well, and their retirement money's in. Planning to fail is like failing to plan. So when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And people says, you're always so harsh. I'm not harsh. I'm talking facts. What you want me to do? Sit here and lie to you every week? And you who have everything in place, I ain't talking to you. You can still augment what you have, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those who do not plan, who haven't planned, who refuse to plan, who don't want to plan. Their priorities are skewed. Those are the ones I'm talking to. Those are the ones I'm talking to. Man, and I love what I do. Her baby was born in September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. The baby's 7 months old. Guess what? When the baby's my age, the baby will be a millionaire tax-free. Only $250 a month. Some people say, I can't afford 250. I don't know. Well, you can't do 150 to 100. You can't do 100 to 50. Everybody watching my show can put $50 a month aside into these concepts. I got clients putting 3,000 aside, 2,000, 1,000, 500. My client that I'm going to help on Thursday night, it's either going to be 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000. I don't know. I have a recommendation what they should do. They can afford it. I know. I've seen their financials. So I'm very proud of them for making that decision. We will make decisions on buying furniture, appliances, cars, just so when people see you drive and you got a nice car, people come to your house, you have the latest fridge or the latest this or that, or you have a huge screen TV. I've been in some apartments, right? Like a studio, to see clients, and their TV bigger than the apartment. Why? 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 I even think even my cable, I think I have to get rid of and use, just internet and use what you all call fire sticks and all these different things I hear people talking about. I don't know nothing about those things, but it's cheaper and that Like I told this client in Florida, you're already spending this, you're already saving this money. We just redirected it. You just redirected it. Let me show you. Let me show you. Client who asked me about long-term care, I'm so excited because tomorrow we're either going to convert some of what you have or you want to stand alone long-term care, I'll write it in a heartbeat. Cha-ching. I'm saying that, but tongue in cheek, but that person is making a great income, but they're always thinking about what if down the road. And that's what you got to do. The only person who can take care of your future self is your current self. Or your 50-year-old or your 55-year-old can take care of you when you're 65 and 75. The reason why you worked all these years and you contribute to a 401k or you save is for a rainy day. Critical illnesses are real. And I don't wish that I do know is it happens because life happens. And I say that to my clients all the time. I'm going to tell you all something. If someone's been watching Tuesdays with Terrence for years and you've never done anything and life happened to you, I mean, I'm going to pray for you. I will. But I'm not contributing. I'm not. Someone said, what kind of Christian are you? But for those of you who believe in Christianity and God, that door, no one wanted to open that door if he could. But God shut it. Because for 120 years, he was telling the people a flood is coming. And I'm telling you guys, for the last 4 years, over 4 years, life happens. It's not if, when. If you live long enough, life happens. And if you have a family, you put stuff. Your 401k could crash, your stocks could crash, your mutual funds could crash, your bank could go under. And do you all know that life insurance companies, if a life insurance company goes into receivership, the state takes it over, and then the state will find an appropriate buyer, another insurance company to buy it over. Let me say it again. Life insurance is the foundation of any financial plan. And if you don't have a solid foundation, whatever your financial plan is flawed. I was talking to, on Saturday night, I was in Fountain in South Carolina. I was talking to my best friend and some of his colleagues and some of the parents of the kids he coached. And we were talking about should should have been broke. Not when you make millions of dollars. But what happens is they get these advisors that's hooked up with their agents and they don't do right by them. As a fiduciary, I have to do right by you. Make sure what's best for your interest. And that's what does it say as it scrolls across? My phone number is there. You all know how to get in touch with me if you need my help. It specifically says as it scrolls, do you sell long-term care insurance? April is financial literacy. 60s, 70s is too expensive. You all going to tell me you can't afford it. I rather have a backpack or a wallet that has no name brand and I have access to cash and money than to be walking around designer Louis Vuitton, I mean, all kind of stuff. Have those big Michael Kors pocketbooks and you ain't got jack in it. Trying to impress people you don't like with things you cannot afford. With money you don't have. Tonight, as I get ready to go do my team training, and tomorrow is going to be a good day for me. I'm going to have some clients. They want long-term care, they're going to get it. They already have living benefits. I'm going to do some conversions. What are you waiting for? Everybody got one. Listen, folks, my name is Terrence Bardui. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. Quand you know what I'm saying? Quand for all the Dominicans. Yeah, I hashtagged it. You go on Facebook or Instagram, you put hashtag quand you're going to see everything I'm saying. Folks, it's not too late. Connie Roberts, good night, darling. How are you? I care. This weekend, we took our youngest son down. We went to Tennessee because we're trying to get him back into school. And I told him this. I said to him, when you have an education, the same thing with life insurance. When you get it early and it's secured and you paid, if you want, you can pay for a certain number of years and pay it up. But I recommend you don't pay it up. Keep paying yourself so you can access it. And one day, I and I did that because I care about my son. Do you care about your family? Is there anybody that depends on your income? Anybody? People back home? Family members? A spouse? Children? Grandchildren? A significant other? Financial Literacy Awareness Month. And if you live in the continental United States, you should be calling me. Someone called me today from Aruba for financial advice. I gave it to them. Can't help them there, but I gave it to them. People have called me from Canada for financial advice. I can't help them there. I've given it to them. People have called me from the Caribbean. Someone called me from Europe. Great Britain. And I've given them financial advice. What are you waiting for? Christmas in July? Well, it's April, and it's Financial Literacy Awareness Month. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, and some people call me Mr. Bardui. And if you're from La Pointe, Point Michel in the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Luku Boy. That's little boy. Whitey Kumuli, the 767, tall as a body. Dominica made me boss South, sustains me. I love what I do, and I love helping families.
Battery 5. Connected to virus alert scammer, and virus alert scammer.
You don't have to be a star to be on my show. You don't have to have 1 million to be on my show. But you can put $50 aside, $100, 200, 1,000, 3,000. You got a lot of money in the bank, 100,000, 500,000. I can secure it for you that you'll never lose it. I love you. Good night. God bless you. You don't have to be a star to be on my show. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardoui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardoui. Some people call me Luca Boy. Come in. Good night. God bless you.
Family, come as you are. With just your heart.
Bye-bye.
Now you put in.
Instagram me.
Now I don't need no superstar.
WhatsApp me.
'Cause I'll accept you
TikTok
as
me.
you are. You won't be denied.
LinkedIn me.
'Cause I'm satisfied.
Instagram me.
With the help.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Million family to be on
Love
my show.
Boom. God bless you. Good night, everybody. My team members who are watching, we got a team meeting in 5 minutes. God bless you. Hasta la vista, babies.